I failed to mention the other day in my celebratory 1,000 subscriber video that this year, 2022, I streamed more than I ever have on this platform, and that was a rewarding experience, no doubt. Getting to know many of my subscribers. At maximum, I would get like 30, maybe 40 people at a time at any given moment, but most of the time it was like a couple dozen or a dozen, and around the central subject of coping with this information. It was like a group therapy, comedy, getting to know each other kind of sessions, and I want to do that much more. I had to get some other equipment, which I misplaced in my move, so that's that. And also, it goes without saying, most of my subscriber base is now a doom sausage fest, just meat sauce all over the map, and that's cool. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not trying to attract gender specific people, he, she, it, gender pronoun neutral or any of that. I'm just reporting the information. I don't know any other channel that doesn't, again, make this some big spectacle and just says it like it is, because critical thinking was a skill not taught in our public education program. That being said, I've been very critical about myself, and I know, people can knock on people for flying and having children, rightfully so. Not all of us are Greta Thunberg and have boats to ourselves that we could just, travel around. And neither am I gluing my hands to airport runways, though that is still happening. I'm just reporting the facts. I'm just choosing to be awake and have my eyes open to what's happening. What's happening? No, not the news program. I have a few news articles I wanted to run through today. News articles, I guess you could say, publications. So let me pull up at my laptop. Don't forget to get your 30 minutes of exercise today and show your animals some love. They didn't ask for any of this. When we go, all life on Earth goes. So for psychopaths that think humans will be gone, well, all the animals will too, and they did really nothing. Let's just get to the brass tacks here. Reliefweb.int. What is INT? I forgot that. Climate change is one of the greatest threats to health. Together we can change it. This written from Dr. Ying Ru Lo, is a WHO representative to Lao PDR, an infectious disease physician from Germany. She has more than 30 years of experience as a public health expert. So she sounds like she hasn't just been around since yesterday. Published December 7th, yesterday. She starts this news and publication release originally from the World Health Organization. And believe me, every health professional I walk by, I have no qualms whatsoever informing them that the World Health Organization just informed us in a public release last year that climate change is the greatest threat to public health. I tell them straight up, no matter what kind of physician, like they need to be dead ass awake to this fact. Quote, first came the rain. It did not stop for several days. The waters filled areas around our home. Then came the mosquitoes. I was bitten, but didn't think much of it. Not long after, my body started to ache. I was sweating. I had to go to the hospital. They said it was dengue. I was scared for myself, but I also wondered, who will take care of my daughter if I'm sick? Recently, I met Som, a 21-year-old Lao mother. Her story was heartbreaking. As I've listened to her recovering from potentially fatal disease, which can happen to any one of us, I thought of increasing climate change-driven rainfall temperatures projected over Lao PDR over the coming years. Unfortunately, they provide the perfect environment for increasing numbers of mosquitoes and infectious transmitted them like dengue. Just one of the many ways climate change threatens human health. And I'm going to paraphrase and skip ahead a little bit here. In November, leaders from around the world met for COP27, blah, blah, blah. We saw significant commitments on climate action, did we? Unfortunately, both overall funding and prioritization of health fell short. Each will have a significant impact on our well-being, etc., etc. I've reported on this before, but she goes on to conclude even like COP27 are a crucial opportunity for the world to come together, more like the Illuminati, and recommit to keeping the 1.5 Paris Agreement alive and put health front and center. We can't afford to wait. Yeah. Are you in America? Probably not. Nature needs 384 billion a year, and other climate change stories you need to read this week from weforum.org. The top stories: natural man-made disasters caused economic damages of 268 billion, of which 122 billion was covered by insurance, making 2022 one of the most expensive years by the sector. We need protecting and bettering and manage the world's ecosystems need 384 billion a year by 2025, more than their double current levels to guard against where are we going to get 384 billion? We can't even pay for community college. Okay? An absolute joke. Here's a cool little graphic of how small combustion particles are compared to other relative to their size, somewhat. Human hair, dirt, dust, pollen, mold, fine beach sand. Published from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency 2022. Oh, the EPA, the lying EPA. Germany will set up so-called climate protection contracts with industrial companies. Also, humans are looking at criminalizing releasing nitrous, and criminal court. Except they don't know how they're going to do it, but they think they should do it. Energy efficiency rate accelerates amid high prices. The EU lost 153 billion in a decade due to climate-related events. Money, money, money. The more we keep throwing money at it and quantifying it with money, the more it's a failed project. Also, I just wanted to give a shout out to Nature Bats Last. Oil and Water Don't Mix is a good video. And Reaching Peak Oil. I really enjoy when Mr. McPherson is more comedic and has kind of a nasally voice. And it's entertaining. So if you watch this, I doubt... just know that when your comedy side hits hard. Inside climate news, back to the news. Society can't slow climate change without reining in big tech, new report warns. This is the real kicker. I'm on tech. This is tech. Tech is everything. I'm going to paraphrase here. In an effort to curb greenhouse gas emissions, I'll probably repeat that line like 2,000 times this year. In any effort to curb global greenhouse gases. And stave off catastrophic warming is doomed to fail unless far more done is to address the foundational role of big tech companies now play in exacerbating the climate crisis. This conclusion released last week by the Global Action Plan. Big tech billionaires, I'm going to kind of summarize here. Big tech companies pose a systemic digital roadblock in effective climate action by driving unsustainable consumerism. Buy these new shoes, buy this thing. Increasing political division and pushing society further away from democracy. That was my imitation of getting constantly bombarded with ads on the side of my screen everywhere. Big tech companies are the oil barons of the 21st century, and their impact on climate change is no less destructive. This paper should serve as a wake-up call to the climate movement. It's not the first time that big tech has been thrust in the spotlight over its climate impacts. Just 5 companies, give me one moment. Just 5 companies, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Meta, use as much electricity as the entire country of New Zealand, according to public reporting from the Financial Times. And it shows that climate disinformation continues to flourish on the biggest social media platforms, including TikTok and Twitter, which experts say make finding global consensus on climate policy a nearly impossible task. In fact, experts warn that the blitz of disinformation during this COP27 global climate crisis talk last month undermined the summit's progress, and many activists were outraged that the UN conference ended without any official commitments to phase down or even phase out or phase down fossil fuels. Experts say that must begin immediately so that the aerosols can fall out of the sky, and within a matter of months, we get cooked. So I guess this is just playing into the schizophrenic desire to eliminate what's killing us, but meanwhile kill ourselves. Fascinating for humans. This published from twincities.umn.edu, Minnesota. A recent survey conducted by the UNM's College of Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resources in collaboration with the U's Climate Adaptation Program. According to a survey, 76% of residents are concerned about climate change. Of Gen Zers surveyed, 85% are concerned. Causing the Earth's changing climate, 69% of Minnesotans responded to fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas are primary cause. What more do you need to know? All I know is people around the world who are subscribed to my channel are feeling the effects. But when I go to the grocery store, again, what we've turned into now, because of neoliberal politics, economy, capitalism, is we're just a bunch of atomized people working paycheck to paycheck that don't even talk to each other. I go to the checkout line daily and stand in front of awkward boomers with their jewelry and despondent faces. I'm existing in this just like you guys, day by day. It's some kind of like cruel form of awakening and punishment. Can we just hit this topic again one more time? Alaska's northernmost city posts warmest winter temperature on record. Despite total darkness, this place I can't pronounce hit 40 degrees Fahrenheit on Monday, the highest temperature ever observed between November and March. 6 degrees higher than the next warmest December. Is this not exponential? People cannot wrap their head around exponential. Autumn 2022 in China was warmest on records. I know I get kind of monotone when I read this, so I'm going to try to lean away from this source as much as possible now, as much as I do enjoy catching up on it. And conclude with saying, look guys, I'm completely aware that I live in a first world country. The amount of the amount of emissions I use on a daily basis is absurd. And the amount of people in America is absurd. Too many people using too many resources on a finite planet. We are in ecological overshoot since March. We are using more resources than the earth can provide for us. It's just a bizarre experience. It's a bizarre experience walking around, not just knowing this data set, not just knowing the information, but really looking around you and thinking, wow, these people really think that we can live at this level of industry for the next 10, 20 years. Buy more gifts at Lowe's, holiday shopping season. Buy now. New iPhone, a little bit, but next quarter is going to be good. All right, guys. Hit like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later. See ya.